it's all about the clap back. Get your boss whacked, Premier's funeral on Snapchat. You now tuned into the bag.
Big plate, big dinner, bitch, I'm a made nigga. Ballin' hobby, trust nobody, me and my grave digger. I'ma have it all, I'ma have it all.
What's good, y'all? Fist Vegas, the hardest voice in sports. Go ahead, hit that like button and subscribe to the Fist Schooner while you at it. Y'all know what time it is. If you ain't with it, you best get with it. Now let's rock. Listen, hit that sub button. Alright, hit that sub button. Join this Fist Schooner army and get Fist Schooner tough. Okay? With that being said, shout out to Joe Burrow. And Joe Burrow, in my opinion, is one of the best young quarterbacks in the league. Okay? And these quarterbacks don't grow on trees, man. I look at these young quarterbacks, and some of them are just trash. And some of them not only just trash, but some of them is overrated. But Joe Burrow lives up to the hype. You feel me? It's like, in a draft with Herbert, if I'm a Bengal fan, I'm not mad, yo. I mean, Joe Burrow doing his thing. You smell me? Like, cause y'all gotta understand, right? Joe Burrow went to a poverty franchise. Joe Burrow went to the Bengals, the Bungles, whatever you want to call them. The Bengals is garbage, okay? They are a poverty franchise that stinks, okay? They stink. Now, they had a stretch of Marvin Lewis when Marvin Lewis kept it competitive. But for the most part, Joe Burrow went to a horrible franchise, and he's resurrected it. Justin Herbert went to a Charger team that was one of the best rosters in the league. That's the one thing they don't talk about with Justin Herbert, is how good the roster was that he went to. You feel me? That was a good roster. So he didn't necessarily go to a team that was trash. He went to a team that just had a bad year. The injuries, things of that nature. So he didn't have to uplift his franchise. Joe Burrow, on the other hand, put the city of Cincinnati on his back, which is more than what I could say for old Trevor Lawrence, Goldilocks, in Jacksonville. You can't tell me Jacksonville is worse than the Bengals. You can't tell me that. You cannot tell me Jacksonville is that much more worse than what Joe Burrow went to. You can't tell me that. Joe Burrow was just a better quarterback. Joe Burrow looked better last year than what, in the small sample size we had of Joe Burrow last year, he looks better than what Trevor Lawrence looks. He's just better than Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence is not good enough to uplift the Jags. He's not. And you've seen it tonight. He's not that good. He's not. When you look at a number one overall pick, you need Andrew Luck. You need a guy that's just good, like that can deliver you from evil. And it's not Goldilocks. And the thing that bothers me with him, he's just too laid back. He's too calm. And it goes back to that interview or that report that he don't need football. Football don't define him. You know what I'm saying? I want a quarterback that's ready to die on this football field. Like my guy Daniel Jones. He trucked a freaking 300-pound defensive tackle for a 2-point conversion. He ready to die about this shit. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want from a quarterback. So I want to say shout out to Joe Burrow for having a 3-1 Bengal team. The Bengals. He went to the Bengals. He didn't go to Arizona, a ready-made franchise like Kyler Murray. Now, granted, Kyler Murray's playing great, but the Cardinals were not a shitty team. They just had a bad year. You feel me? Like, even with Tua Tagovailoa, you're on the Dolphins team. You should be better. That team is not bad. You smell me? So I just want to say shout out to Burrow for bringing back the Bengals. The Bengals are in good hands with this kid. You feel me? He goes 25 for 32, 348 yards and 2 touchdowns. Tyler Boyd had 9 for 118. Some random tight end Uzoma, whatever, he had 2 TDs. And Jamar Chase had 6 for 77. Let me look at Jamar Chase on the season right quick. Jamar Chase on the season so far, 3 games played, 11 for 220. So if you add the 6, that's 17 catches for what? 17 catches for about 297 yards on the season so far. That ain't bad. He on pace to go over 1,000. It's not bad. It's not bad for a rookie. It's not. And Joe Mixon got a touchdown. And then you look at the Jaguars side of the field. Trevor Lawrence is 17 for 24 and only had 200 yards. He did have 36 yards scrambling and a touchdown, but what do your eyes tell you? What do your eyes tell you? You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. What do your eyes tell you? When you look at Joe Burrow and then you look at Trevor, what do your eyes tell you? I watched Joe Burrow drop 10 points in the fourth quarter. The last 8 minutes of the game, he dropped 10 points. The guy Trevor had a 14-point lead, and in the second half, Joe Burrow just eradicated that shit. He eradicated that shit. 14 in the third, 10 in the fourth. He eradicated that shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's just these quarterbacks, man, they're a mystery, aren't they? I mean, name one quarterback out this draft class that looks good. Trevor don't look good. Zach don't look good. Trey can't even beat out Jimmy G. Don't even get me started on that bum Justin Fields. How you get sacked 9 times but complete 6 balls? When somebody highlight me when Justin Fields completes more passes than times he gets sacked. Somebody got holler at me when he do that. And then you got the Alex Jones or Matt Smith, whatever you want to call him. This dude is the dick and dunk master. I mean, he dick and dunk better than anybody I ever seen dick and dunk. I mean, that's just sad out there in New England. So this just, when it comes to these quarterbacks, man, you just never freaking know. You never know until they play. Until you get them on the field and you see what them boys can do, you just never know. Because I promise y'all, Herbert don't fall to number 6 if we redid that draft. Washington, Detroit, they're not passing on Herbert if we redid that draft today. If we redid that draft today, I bet you I guarantee you Tua not making it. Tua not making it in the first 3 or 4 rounds. Tua's like a 5th or 6th round pick at best if we redid that draft. So, it is what it is, people. It is what it is. But shout out to Joe Burrow, because you can't tell me Zach Taylor is a better coach than Urban Meyer. You can't tell me that. You can't tell me Zach Taylor is a better coach than Urban Meyer. Trevor Lawrence has a better foundation around him than Joe Burrow does, and it doesn't matter because Joe Burrow's just better. But anyway, that's it. That's all. Subscribe to the unit if you rocking with me. My name is Fist Vegas, and I approve.